Friday, time for your history update. Today's history briefing, we're going to be talking about the Golden Book in the Memorial Room in the Indiana Memorial Union, which is where I'm at right now. Now, you may have seen this room before. You may be aware of it. It's across the hall from Starbucks. Through the door, back over this shoulder, over here is Starbucks. And if you've ever walked into this room, you may have seen this book located up here on this decorative platform thing that's here. So originally this room was a chapel when the Union was first built, but when Beck Chapel was built, they moved the chapel functions over to it, and this became the memorial room, and they moved a number of things in here that used to be located elsewhere in the Union into this space, notably the Golden Book. So the Golden Book started in the 1890s, 1898 I think it was, by the Indiana Daily Student, who attempted to collect a list of every student then serving in the Spanish-American War. After that, they decided they were going to collect a list of every student and alumni that had served in the Civil War. And pretty soon that list turned into something the university referred to as the Soldier Roll of Honor, or the Honor Roll of former students. And that list continued all the way through World War I. And during World War I, the university took on the responsibility, actually shortly before that in the Mexican Border War, took on the responsibility of updating it and keeping the list and maintaining it. And once they had done that, they decided, hey, you know what? We do this memorial campaign to build the Indiana Memorial Union. We should make this a part of it. And so the memorial campaign, which was a large multi-million-dollar campaign for its time period, raised the money to build the Memorial Union Memorial Hall, the original Memorial Stadium, which is where the Arboretum is now. And when they built those, the donors donated money specifically to remember the sons and daughters of Indiana University who have served in the wars of the Republic. And if you look really close, you see that's why you can't see it because of the reflection. That's what's on the plaque down here. And so that book continued all the way through World War II. And after World War II, the book was basically full. And so they had to make an effort to figure out what to do next or what steps would come next after that. Unfortunately, they didn't do anything until 2011. And 2011 was when we digitized that version of the book. And when we digitized the book, we created this thing back here at the back that's like a giant iPad. And when you come in, you can hit the iPad, and now it's not wanting to work for me. Here we go, hold on. See if we can get it to work. Yeah, and of course today it's being temperamental. So one of our challenges is that since it's 2011 technology, things aren't exactly working as smooth as they used to with a digital version. But in 2011, we made a digital version of it. It works like a giant iPad. You can just flip through, look at the pages, zoom in on the pages, because the original book is in a condition where we can't really do a whole lot with it anymore just because it's getting kind of fragile. In 2016, we actually took it online, and now there's an online database at goldenbook.iu.edu, and you can actually go in and search, put in a name, and look for the information from there. So trying to keep this under 3 minutes, I got one last thing to throw in here that's of interest. So you may notice there's this big bronze seal that's down here in the floor. There is a matching bronze seal in the entryway of Memorial Hall that is dedicated to the daughters of Indiana University. This one's dedicated to the sons and daughters of Indiana University. So originally when the campaign started, they were going to build the Union, and it was going to be for men, and the residence hall they were building was going to be for women, when they built a new Union, the women would get the old Union, which we know today is the student building. But by the time they actually collected all the money, they started this plan in early 1920s, and by the early 1930s when they went to build it, the university had boomed so much, they knew the building they built would have to be for men and women. Hence, this plaque says sons and daughters of Indiana University. But Memorial Hall, which we'll talk about later, still wound up having been built the first. It still wound up being built for women. So that's today's history briefing and update. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you next Friday.